Hello, everybody. Welcome and welcome back to Ethereal Hypnosis Radio. I am Catrice, and thank you for tuning into my healing frequency. So, guys, today I am back with something I've been working on that I want to share with you all. And so I've been playing around with my intuition and doing dream intuitive interpretations. And so I wanted to bring it here to share with you all and to say if you all want to share your dreams and have me interpret them intuitively, I would love to do that. And so, when we dream, a lot of times, a lot of people do not remember their dreams, or they only remember bits and pieces. And that's because one, obviously, you're not fully aware of what's going on in your dream. And two, you are within your own energy field. And so this is just your subconscious mind trying to communicate with you and tell you that spiritually you have some things that's going on that need to be cleared or healed. And so, of course, if you lucid dream, you don't have to put that in the comments because you can control, what you're saying and doing in the dream. So, that doesn't need to be interpreted. But if you have dreams and all you're getting is bits and pieces, feel free to share them. And I will intuitively break that down for you as best as I can. As I say, and I'm playing around with my intuition when it comes to dreams. And so, yeah, and I will share a couple of dreams that was shared with me. Two of them were dreams that my mom had shared. And, I just wanted to have some fun with it and break it down. And so she gave me permission to share these dreams. So we're going to share it here. And if you guys hear any noise in the background, just ignore it. There's other people here in the office, including a little one that's quite loud. So just ignore the noise in the background and we will move through the dreams. Okay, so the first dream, they were very, very short dreams, so I can pretty much remember everything she said. So in her first dream, it was her deceased father, one of her deceased brothers, and then a living brother that was in a dream. And one of them just kept saying, "We got to go, we got to go, we got to go." And next thing you know, they were in front of a church and the dream ended. And so the way I broke this down was before I even got her second dream, because the two dreams tie into each other. But before I even got the second dream, the way I broke this down was the family in the dream wasn't, really didn't have anything to do with the dream. They were just there to, there as familiar family members that, to get her to wherever her destination was, which was the church. And I broke this down as, you got to the church and nothing happened, you woke up. So you probably have some type of religion block that's keeping you stagnant or, keeping you from moving forward with something that you want to do. And so, a lot of times in church can be very fear-based. And so, people take what they learned in church and it becomes a belief. And so with this, I told her this could be something, something you learned in the church that may be a fear belief that your subconscious is holding. Sometimes in church, you'll hear them say something like, if you do this, there's some type of spiritual repercussion, or, if you don't do this, and that, you can't enjoy this, and that. When we all know joy, enjoyment, happiness, this is all your birthright. So for, the church to tell you in order to enjoy certain things, you have to do certain things. And so, they create all these fear-based narratives that become beliefs. And so, just with that little piece, that's pretty much all I came up with that dream. And then over the weekend, she had another dream. And in this dream, she was with my daughter and my niece. And in this dream, she said that I asked her to come to the office on a Thanksgiving day while it was raining to work. And so when she got to the office and closed the door, there were some guys banging on the door trying to get in to get them. And so again, I tied this to some type of religious belief that she needs to release. And the reason why I said this was because let's just break this down a little bit, okay? And so one, going to the office on a Thanksgiving day. So she's still, these religions, these holidays are tied to religion. And so I felt like this was a continuation of dream one. And so now I'm tying the holiday to religion. So Thanksgiving Day, no one wants to work on a holiday because it's a holiday, Thanksgiving, a religious holiday. And then to go to the office with both my daughter and my niece. So let's just connect this to the first dream. The first dream, deceased father, which deceased means nothing. It's not that the person was deceased, because we know we're never born or we never die, because we're spiritual. We only use these bodies temporarily. So it's the body that ends, not us. And so the father, the two brothers, and herself, my daughter and my niece. And I wasn't at the office with them. Okay. So even though I wasn't at the office with them, this is 4 generations in one dream. So this is telling me that this is ancestral. Whatever this block is whatever this belief is, this religious belief that's blocking her is ancestral. And then, so that's that part with the people and the dream. I tied this to be an ancestral. Excuse me for just one internet second. Hold on. Okay, so where did I leave off? I left off at this was ancestral. Okay, so this was ancestral because there's 4 generations included in her dream. And then she went to the office on Thanksgiving. So this is religious tied again. And then there it was raining. So that's spiritual in itself. So rain or water typically indicates some type of purification or some type of cleansing. And then there were guys banging on the door trying to get to them. Again, I tied that to a religious belief. If you do this, this is going to happen. So you did something. So now there's people there to, you know, do whatever. And so I figured that this was all religious based off of that information that she gave me. And so as soon as I said, the guy is trying to get you, it's raining, there's some type of purification that needs to happen. It's probably something that was said to you. If you do this, there's this type of repercussion. And she stated, yeah, my father used to always say that, if you're a sinner or if you're sinning, you'll go to hell. Ding, 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 ding. That's what it is right there. That belief is sitting in your subconscious and is keeping you from moving forward, from doing something that you want to do. And so then, she expressed that, she let that go and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But as we all know, yes, you can consciously let something go. But once it becomes a belief and it's in your subconscious, that's what's driving your day to day. That's what's driving your day to day. So that comment, excuse me, that if you sin, you'll go to hell. It's sitting in that subconscious, and it's generational. It's ancestral because all those people in her dreams, it was different generations. And so this is telling me this is generational. It's going from generation to generation. And I felt like it was something that was religious tied because I asked her to go to the office, but I wasn't there. And you guys know I let religion go a while ago. And so the mere fact that I let religion go and I wasn't in the dream being affected by, the rain, the Thanksgiving, the guys trying to break into the office and getting them, tells me this is a religious block that's happening with her. And so that's the interpretation that I came up with her. And then the other dream was my daughter, and I'll tell you, hers was like really short too. But in her dream, she's just said she was dyeing her hair red. And then the dream ended. Very, very, very short. And so red is a very significant color. So if you think about red, just in the physical, red is sexy, red is spontaneous, red is bold, expressive. Like when someone speaks of red, like a red dress, no one just says a red dress. You know, they say a sexy red dress, or look at that sexy red car. You know, so red is a very expressive color here in the physical, but also red is very important in the spiritual, because red represents the root chakra. You know, that's your roots, you know, your stability, you know, your pretty much where you're grounding, where everything starts. And so for her, I felt like her dyeing her hair such a bold color in her dream was possibly a root chakra activation, and her higher self wanted her to be more bold, be more expressive, be more of her authentic self. And so that was it for that one. That was it. Just, you know, bold, be yourself, be expressive unapologetically. And so yeah, so I just kind of felt like that might have been a little activation for her, and for her to live more boldly. And then I also had a dream as well that I want to share that included a couple of my soul sisters that don't even know that I had this dream. But it was two of our sisters. And you know what? At the end, I will add a picture of us and put all of our names and all of our channels on it. And then I'll also put everybody's channel in the description, because you've all seen us all before on Tahira's channel, Instructions for Humanity, slaying those demons, getting them up out of here, slaying demons, doing energy clearing, healing on humanity. We've done it all. You guys have seen us all. And so I'll introduce everybody. I'll put a picture up at the end and introduce everybody in their channels. Hey, sisters. And so in my dream, it was me, Trinity, and Taya. And when I tell this dream, you're gonna probably think Taya didn't have anything to do with this dream, but I'm gonna tell you why I think she did have something to do with the dream. So it was me, Trinity, and Taya. They both came to my home, but Taya went to work, and Trinity was asking for directions to some shopping places. And so I was giving her what I call like easy directions to get to these places, so she didn't have to, you know, drive around town to find these places. And so I gave her two simple directions to different places that she was looking for. She went out, found them, came back. I asked her, "Hey, did you find, you know, the stores that you were looking for?" And in the dream, she was like, "Oh yeah, I found the stores and even more." And so what I interpret this as for her is me giving her intuitive directions for something, like just giving her intuitive advice. She followed the advice, and she ended up finding more than what she needed, you know, just following the easy advice that I gave her. And so just going off a topic for a little bit, I feel like when we're given intuitive advice, even whether it's from our higher self, our spirit guides, or another spiritual teacher, when they're giving us the easy route, you know, we should at least try to take those easy routes, because we can find what we're looking for and even more. And so in the dream, she found what she was looking for and even more. And then so she was happy about that. And so that just goes to show, when you're following intuitive directions or intuitive insights, you can find what you're looking for and even more, is how I chopped that down to be. And then so when she came back, Taya came back from work. So you're probably like, well, what the heck does she have to do with the dream? Well, I just felt like, you know, she was there for just spiritual support. Like they really support each other a lot in the physical. Like they're very supportive of each other. And so I felt like she showed up in the dream to be very supportive of Trinity as well in the dream, which is our spiritual space. So Yeah, you guys, that's what I've been doing as well, coming up with intuitive insights when it comes to dreams. And so, if you want to share your dreams and have me intuitively come up with what's going on in your dreams, feel free to share it in the comments. I'll also leave my email address. So, if you don't want people seeing, what your dreams are and you want to share it, you can just email it to me. But yeah, I'm hoping to start something up with this, and this, becoming something that I do a lot more. Because like I said, I'm just having fun with my intuition, trying to unpack dreams. So our dreams are telling us something. It's coming from the subconscious, like I said, especially if it's just like short, choppy dreams. It's your dream within your own energy field. So yeah, feel free to share. I'm excited to see what you guys send me. Hopefully, I'll get some. If I get some more dreams from more of my family, I'll share those here as well. But I'll see you in the next one. And you guys will be getting the next Money as Medicine series episode 3, which is you becoming the vessel for prosperity, learn to say yes to more money, the abundant and expansive money. And so that will be out Friday, April, whatever this last Friday is of April. You guys will have that video. So thank you for tuning in and keep dreaming. Bye.